everybody. So it's been a long time, but we've bought a storage business. We started the process in August of 2020, and we just took over today. So the facility has 56 indoor roll-up door storage units, none of which are heated. I don't know if there's lights in the units or not, but none of them are heated. And they range from 5x10 to 10x20, most of which are 10x10s. I think there's 7 5x10s, 31 10x10s, and 8 10x20s, which I think adds up to 44 units or somewhere in there. But the 10x10s turn into 10x20s. So that means a 10x20 has 2 doors, which is why there's less units than are actually numbered. And then it also has 24 covered vehicle storage parking. There's one person that has a C-can that they rent just space from us and have their C-can sitting on. And then there's one other person that has just open, uncovered, whatever they want storage. So we're here today. Today's the first day that we're gonna be taking over here, and we have a fence guy coming at 8 o'clock. We're gonna change out the manual gate to an electric gate, and the whole 30-foot section needs to be replaced because it's actually bent. And then he's gonna dig holes for the opener, pour the cement, and then my wife is actually just standing in the utility room right now. There's a camera system and all the electrical and everything. We have Wi-Fi coming tomorrow, and then we're gonna end up having a trench conduit all the way around and then out to the gate. And then there will be a keypad just outside the fence that'll be on a cinder block, just in case we get in trouble and we have to move it. And then it'll be a pain, but we're kind of hoping, since it won't be permanent, it'll be okay. So what we're gonna do right now is we've cleaned out the mechanical room that they've left us. There was just a little bit of stuff in here. It wasn't too bad. We need to put up a sheet of plywood on the south-facing wall. I don't know what that is, but the wall that has the OSB on it, and that's where we'll mount our enclosure for all of the electronics for the gate. So we'll start that process and show you a little bit along the way. Okay, everybody, it's a little bit windy today, but we forgot to film everything else when we were doing the gate and everything for our new storage unit. We did do an intro, but that was about it. So we've got the gate installed. That's the keypad. There's some of the electrical. Here is the new, I can't show too much just because we do have vehicles in here with license plates, and I don't want their information or anything getting out. So here's the opener that we've put in, and currently we just have it set up to open at 7 a.m. and it closes at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. sorry. And that is only until we get the rest of the software and program all set up. We have new cameras and everything coming for the facility. So there's hydro. I know it's called electrical, we call it hydro where we are. Yeah, that's just the thing. TELUS, that's fiber optic internet. Here's their current security setup, not the greatest. There is the contactor for all the lights in the facility, a heater that we unplugged, and then here is an electrical panel that I built for all of the electronics. Digital thermostat there. It's way too hot. I'm just trying to test. We got 2 thermostats just because I wanted somewhat of a redundancy. Apparently the electronics in here are fairly sensitive and they don't want it getting too cold. So yeah, I'll show you guys here. I'm just gonna set this. This is called an Inkbird. It's actually really good. So it's 22 degrees in there now, but that's because the other thermostat came on way too early there. And it goes way too high, I don't understand why, but. So, anyways, wait for this truck to go by here. So that's the setup inside the NEMA 4 enclosure. Here is the back of the Inkbird thermostat. It's 220 or 240, I guess. So that's that. And what I did was I tried to set up, this is all high voltage on that side. High voltage in a relative term, I mean, it's 120, 240, so it's not really that high a voltage. And then this, on this side is all low voltage, and then this is where the Ubiquity security camera system is. Again, we were meant to film a lot more of this, but we had contractors here, we were trying to get stuff done, and it just became a problem. So here's the timer that's currently keeping the gate open. Like I said, it's set up to be 7 to 7, and I didn't look at the timer before in mounting everything, and I mounted this switch, which isn't a horrible idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Wemo switch for this so that we can turn it on and off from our phones, which will allow us to remotely turn it to 7 to 7 if there's a problem with the software. So I mean, it's good and it's bad. There is a button here that you can turn it on and off, which I didn't look at. But anyways, if you shut off one of them, you'll see the gate will close once it gets to the set time, which I think is 10 seconds is what we got it to right now. So there you go, gate's closing. Heater just turned on. This is a $400 forced air heater, but it does its job. It is a little bit oversized for the panel. When we did our calculations, there's an online calculator for heater for an enclosure. You need a 200 watt for a non-insulated enclosure. Or sorry, a 200 watt for an insulated enclosure, a 400 watt for a non-insulated enclosure. So what we did was we bought a non-insulated enclosure and put in a 400 watt heater. It gets down to like minus 25 degrees Celsius here, which is pretty cold. So I figured if it's a problem, I'd oversize the heater and then I wouldn't have to worry about it being an issue. So, and the way that this Inkbird is set up is it'll cycle within a range. So I'll probably actually set it to 15 degrees Celsius because it's not that hot. And at least in the winter time, I'll probably set it to that. And then it'll cycle within 5 degrees of that temperature on and off. So there is the second thermostat that we have. This is the power brick for the cloud control. Here's the power brick for the internet. This is a DIN rail mount supply for all of the electrical connections, 120 volt power, which powers the power bar. And then here is the cloud controller. There's a bunch of numbers in there that I don't know if I'm allowed to show you. So there's the cloud controller, hooked up to the internet, got a little bit of wires in there and a backup battery. Once we get the Ubiquity set up, we'll be putting that in, and since I'll be doing that myself, I will try and film more of that.